I'm wondering, would that be an indicator of that transformation? Because we are going back to the people. You speak to the issue of remittance, and we do appreciate our citizens that are in the diaspora and that are remitting back home. I think that's important. But as a nation, have we stopped to think, how does this compare to the investment that the country has made to those citizens in their development, which is now benefiting other economies in the diaspora? Are there incentives that can be put in place to lower them back so that they can directly contribute, so that we just don't celebrate the remittances that they are giving to us? I think it's important for us to consider that. And as we talk about social protection, which touches on most of the citizens, we know that about 7.7 million people are food insecure in the country. We do appreciate the initiatives that government has put in place, including the food deficit mitigation program. But Piers, are you aware that communities, when they receive the food mitigation intervention, I think it's about 7 kgs per head per household, and maybe for a household of 5. Still, that's not enough. But are you aware that once the government vehicles have left those communities, the villagers sit down and redistribute the same grain? Because not everybody will have received it. So they redistribute because they are saying, we can't have food when my neighbor is not having a meal for the night. So they redistribute. And the long-term implications is that as we maybe celebrate, talk about the metric tons that have been delivered on this program, it's not realizing the intended benefit. One, it doesn't take people through the time frame that they should take. And two, they are not even meeting the minimum caloric requirements that should make them a healthy citizen, even as we are heading towards the upper middle income economy that we so yearn to have. So it's important that we just don't make these interventions a box-ticking exercise. Let's have a holistic approach to that. We are giving them food, yes, but what does it do? They will end up boiling the corn, and we know that does not benefit as much. And we applaud the government for the infrastructure development. We did clap, and I'm sure we can clap again because we can see it. But in the 2022 budget, we asked the minister about the inclusivity, especially with regards to transport for persons with disabilities. Yes, we are now applauding, celebrating the good roads, but not everybody. As we do the mantra, leave no one and no place behind. Not everybody is going to enjoy the good roads because persons with disabilities are left out. So we asked the question about that inclusivity. And I remember so well the response that I got from your ministry was that the government was in the process of bringing into the country retrofitted buses. And I'm asking now, I don't know if anybody has seen any retrofitted bus in our city or anywhere, and I just want to find out where we are with that, so that includes everybody in this transformation and development that we are enjoying. And coming back to the issue of the currency, the ZiG, I believe that generally as Zimbabweans, we do want to have our own currency. We do want to use it. But I think as we speak, the challenge of the small denominations is still a challenge. And that is what the ordinary persons use. That is what the informal sector uses as they trade. So failure to make the small denominations available will push these people to continue to use the US dollar. And naturally, then probably the ZiG will die a natural death. That's not what we want, because they want the small denomination to be able to purchase the tomatoes, to be able to purchase the cooking oil, town that they use in the identity suburbs. So I think it's important to consider that. I know in the budget statement, there's also mention of the efforts that government is making to ensure that there's water and sanitation and the drilling of boreholes. And I think it's important. But I think we need to ask, where do we want to drill boreholes? In the rural areas, yes, we applaud. But if we continue to drill boreholes in the urban areas, what are we doing in this era that we want to be moving? What are we doing? Are we ruralizing the urban area? So, Honorable peers, thank you for the presentation, but I think it is important that what we use as indicators to tell us the story of where we are should be relating to people. I remember every time I went to the village to visit my mother, and I introduced a subject that she did not relate to. She would say to me, there's the New York towns. That's for you urbanites. Can we make the budget conversation a conversation that the ordinary person in the village can relate to, can engage with, in as much as we are engaging in this room? Thank you very much.